Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be doing some Kirkland inspiration projects. Now, these are not dupes because you will kind of see that I strayed away from the exact replica of what was on the Kirkland website, but they were definitely inspired by the Kirkland products. So here's DIY number one. And it was this welcome sign. They had it on sale for $11.89, and as you can see, I changed my wording to home. I used this pumpkin that I found at the Dollar Tree, already had a flower on top. You could buy a regular pumpkin, get some flowers and put them on top. And then we're going to use this tabletop decor sign that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It doesn't matter what yours says because we're going to paint that. And then I got some bamboo skewers from the Dollar Tree. You can also use some flat bamboo sticks. Those work really well. And then I got this maple bouquet from Dollar Tree. These wood pile letters came from Hobby Lobby, but it was like $2 per pack. There's 2 letters in each one, so it's just over $1 per letter. And then we're just going to take off the sticker, sand down the sticky, and then we're going to paint our base. I painted mine black in this video. I made 2 of these signs since I had double the letters. The other sign I made more of a cream color, and that turned out so much better just because my wood lettering, once I stain it, it just popped so much more with the cream base. So, I mean, like, if you like the darker base, then right on. I would suggest going more cream base because it just makes those wood letters pop out so much more. So we're going to paint this. We're going to put 2 coats of paint. I just show you one because we don't need to watch me do this twice. But you're seeing me put on 1 full coat on all the sides. But like I said, I did do 2 coats. So once we're finished with that, we're going to go ahead and stain our letters. I use some Minwax stain. You can choose any color you want. Now when we stain these, we're going to stain front, back, and the edges because you're going to see all sides of this. Now that we're done staining this, we're just going to lay out all of our stuff to see where the placement on the base is going to be. We're going to grab our skewers because we don't want them to go all the way across because the pumpkin's going to go in the middle. So we want to cut these long enough to cover the M and the E. Just the length of those ones. We'll cut it off. And then I guess I did need, so 3 skewers is what you're going to use, which is not much. But we'll cut that down just to the length of the H. And then I filed down, or sanded down the edges of these just so it wasn't so rough cut. Now I probably should have cut this out while I was editing, but I didn't. So I'm just thinking out here how I'm going to place these and what I'm going to do. I am going to let you know that in my editing world, I did edit out some of my struggle. Um, so you're going to see me glue these down, and I'm just figuring out my placement. You're going to see me glue these down, but I had to remove them and fix them. So I show you how I actually got these down because again, you try to clamp those round bamboo skewers and it's not going to clamp well. Here is another step you can skip. You don't need to wipe down this glue because you're going to put the round skewers down. Use that glue to your advantage. I don't know why I clean up my glue messes sometimes because we're literally about to put something that needs to be glued on top of that. Here's another thing you guys can do different than I did. When you paint your base, just go ahead and paint your skewers at the same time. See, I already have my letters half glued on, and now I've decided to paint my skewers. Should have done this already. So when you guys recreate this, paint your skewers and your base at the same time. Alright, here is where you can watch me struggle with this. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I cut out a lot of knocking over letters, trying to get the clamps to stay on these round skewers, and all of this hassle. Um, Again, I'm showing you that I did struggle with this, and I'm showing you how to fix this. Alright guys, I finally got smart. So I have these flat bamboo skewers, or sticks, flat bamboo, whatever. So I put them above the round skewers so that they would stop rolling up, and I clamped those down. So they're putting pressure down onto the skewers so they're not rolling anywhere, and then I clamped them. So smart. Should have done this in the first place. If you don't have these flat bamboo skewers or sticks or whatever you want to call them, you could always use some craft sticks just something to hold those down. Now I'm embellishing my pumpkin a little bit extra here. I just wanted to add a few things. I put a little acorn on it off of that maple pick, and then I was going to put the leaves behind it, but decided that they were sticking out a little farther than I wanted. So I just used the two leaves that were connected, slid them right under my pumpkin, hot glued them in. Probably honestly don't need to hot glue them because they were pretty secure once I just slid them under that flower. But I wanted to make sure mine stayed, so I threw a little hot glue on there, and then we're just going to hot glue our pumpkin down here. Okay guys, once we have that pumpkin glued on, we are pretty much done. Not pretty much, we're done. This project is finished. This is what it looks like in the end. I love this one. It is so cute. Little table topper, sign display with a real, well, not a real pumpkin, but a real fake pumpkin. Okay, guys, DIY number two. So here is the Kirkland Inspiration. They had it on sale for $104.99. And here is the one I recreated using all Dollar Tree products. Now, in total, it cost me definitely under $25 to make this one. So I got this 18-inch round wreath form, and then I used some floral wire. Going back on that, you could probably honestly just remove like the plastic coating on the flowers themselves because they have wire, and you could use that wire to wrap around the wreath form. That could save you a few dollars. So I grabbed, I believe it was 15 florals. I grabbed flowers, I grabbed leaf picks, and all kinds of things. Again, I used floral wire. You can use floral wire too, or you could save yourself $1.25 and just cut off all of the plastic coating on the flower stems and wrap that around the wreath form. Now here you can see me laying out all my flowers and kind of just trying to figure out the placement I want for them. But I want to backtrack a little bit. So I laid my flowers out and stuck them on now. Later I'm going to put on a maple leaf garland. I personally suggest wrapping the garland around the wreath form first. But again, if you do it later like I did, everything works out fine. But if I went back and recreated this project again myself, I would have took that maple leaf garland, wrapped it around the whole thing, and then put all my flowers on. Okay, guys. Yes, I am editing a video and making this wreath at the same time. That is what I call multitasking. To be honest, no, I wasn't doing a very good job, so in a second here, I put the computer away. But I tried to multitask. As you can see here, I used a lot of leaves, a lot of leaf picks, a lot of leaves, but I used some of the berries off of some of my picks, and then I also used some orange flowers. So I kind of went with some, what were they? They were dahlias, and then I think there were another smaller orange dahlia bunch. Try to get some yellow flowers, some orange flowers, leaves, orange leaves, yellow leaves, and red leaves just to mix up the color. And here is where I'm putting that garland on. Yes, it does fill in some of my holes, but again, I think if you put this garland on first, you'd be a lot better off. And I used two of these garlands, by the way. There was two of the 5 foot garlands. I used two. I think you just seen me put one on, and then I showed you on the second one before I put that one on. And this did fill in a lot of those gaps. Like it was great. But again, put it on first, then put all your florals on. Okay, guys, here comes the fun part. Here's where we're gonna put in, put on our pumpkins. This is just what makes this wreath so cute. And the inspiration from the gourd and pumpkin wreath that Kirkland's was selling for $105 on sale. And we made this one for sure, less than 25 bucks. I think it was closer to the $20 range, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't lying to you guys. So I went up to $25. But it was under 25. We're just gonna, and these pumpkins came on one of those floral picks. I think it was one of the leaf picks. So, I mean, that was just all part of the cost of buying the leaf picks. We're just using everything from that. I mean, I didn't use everything. I used like the berry picks, parts of the berries and stuff, but there was some other stuff that I stashed away that I can use later. So, we didn't use everything that we got, but we saved some money. We saved a lot of money. Okay, guys, the last thing I'm going to add here, I bought these pack of acorns from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue them on in groups of twos. So I kind of just replaced my gourds with acorns. So I have a pumpkin and acorn wreath instead of a pumpkin and gourd wreath. All right, here it is, all finished. It is so pretty. I love this wreath. I mean, like, honestly, out of all these projects, I love almost all of them. There's only one that yeah, no, not my thing, but I recreated it. But I would say 4 out of the 5, I love them all. All right, guys, let me know down below, do you love this wreath as much as me? And are you going to recreate this? DIY number 3. So on this one, this Kirkland book stack was my inspiration, and here's what I recreated. To be honest with you, book stacks are not what I like in my home decor, but I seen that on the Kirkland website and I thought I can recreate this. So I used that wood crate from Dollar Tree, some of the ribbon, and some craft sticks. I used some jumbo craft sticks that you see here and some regular like popsicle sized craft sticks to recreate this. I've seen a lot of other crafters use these Dollar Tree wood crates to make a book stack, but I thought I could just, bump it up a little bit and give it an actual binding cover and backing for a book using craft sticks. So here I just measured out where it would slip into the rails of the crate, and I'm cutting this out in a U shape so that it will slide around the crate and into the crate slots. And I'm going to do this 4 times. I'm going to make 4 of these for each side of the crate. So this part is even easier. We're just going to cut down our craft sticks. We're going to do 3 of them. We're going to cut them down to the edges of our popsicle sticks, and this is going to create the binding of our book. We're going to go ahead and glue the sides of it, the craft sticks down first, and then we'll glue on the binding here, and then just tape it on so that it stays. And you just need to leave the tape on for like a half hour. It'll be good enough by then. We have all of our craft sticks glued down. Then we're going to measure out for the front of our book stack, and we're just going to go in between each of the craft sticks, and it will slide right into the slots. So these ones, once you get it measured out, you can cut these in half, and because we don't need really the width of it, we just need the length of it. So cut them in half, slide them in just to the edge of it, and then cut off the round part of your craft sticks. So right here, we're just going to glue on the top and bottom of our book stack. These ones, there's no fancy cuts. They're just flat cuts, the same width as your cover and binding and all that. And you're just going to glue those on, let it sit, and then I'm going to add some cream color just to make this actually look like pages. And then I did add some distressing. I don't know where that footage went, but I did add some like black paint and distressed over it. Went back and forth between the cream and the like darker color, so just so it would look like pages. Now here I'm going to Mod Podge on some ribbon. This is one thing I would change. I would go with a full piece of some kind of fabric or something and wrap it all the way around the binding of this top book. This is the only one I would change, is the top. Just because I have that seam on the top, and that's the only thing I don't like about the book stack. Had I used a full piece of fabric and wrapped it around the binding, it would have looked great. So I put some ribbon over it, and I put some ribbon on the binding of it, and then Mod Podge on some more ribbon, and our last piece of ribbon. Now here, I use my Cricut for some wording, but I know Dollar Tree does carry some rub-on transfers, and you could always use that, or you could just use a Sharpie if you have nice handwriting, and you could just write on whatever message you want your book stack to say. So once I have all the words that I want, because mine was vinyl, I wanted to Mod Podge it on so it didn't fall off. And then here's where I did the distressing for the pages so that it would actually look like pages. I thought I did this earlier on, but apparently I did it when I was all done. I taped everything off so I wouldn't get the paint on the books, but I went back and forth between the cream and like that black color just to make this look like there's actual pages to this book. So here it is all finished. Again, this is my like least favorite project that I made. Not that I don't like it, I just don't like it for my home decor, but I still think this turned out really good. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. DIY number 4. This is the second to the last one, guys, but make sure you stick around for the last project. Now, my inspiration for this next one was this thankful centerpiece. They wanted $45.49 for it, and here is what I came up with. Now, I didn't add the candle holders into the middle. You guys can. I just wanted to go with the floral decor. So I use 3 of these pumpkin wood signs that I bought at the Dollar Tree. Now I'm just measuring the width of the sign, and I'm going to cut off the top holes where the sign holder goes, and then I'm going to cut the bottom the same width as the sign, because these are going to be our ends, and it needs to be as high as the sign is, if that makes any sense. So we're going to do that to both of these, and we're going to build a box out of this. So once we have all of our sides cut out, we are going to go ahead and stain our wood. You can use whatever stain you want. I used antique wax that was watered down, but again, choose whatever stain you want to fit into your decor. So once we are done staining our box, we're going to let it dry, obviously, and then we're going to put glue on the smaller edges of each one, and we're going to build our box here. So when I glue on the sides of my box, I am using some painter's tape here to hold the edges in place. You only need to leave this on for like a half hour. So now here's where I realize I forgot the bottom. So here's where I'm going to use my third sign. I'm just going to place it right over the top, just kind of mark off where I need to cut it, and then I cut it with my knife, but my camera cut out, so you didn't get to see me cut that. And then I'm going to use some ribbon. You guys can use whatever fabric you want for yours, but now initially I tried to hot glue it. That didn't work out so good, so I ended up using this gel super glue, and that worked out fantastic for gluing this down. Now here I'm gluing on my thankful sign. I just bought this in a 3-pack at the Dollar Tree. Um, it came with like 3 different ones. I don't remember what they all said. One of them was like welcome, one of them was thankful, and I think the third one was harvest. Anyway, it was a 3-pack of these little metal signs, and I'm using Dollar Tree's glue. It's their equivalent to like the E6000. Um, and it works, like from what I've noticed, just as good as the E6000. And then I did use some of the gel super glue just for that instant hold. Just put it on there, pushed it down, and you can see like I went right back to work. So I got some of this floral foam. I'm going to glue this, well, cut it in half so that it's shorter. And then I'm going to glue it down to the base of our box. Now that we have our floral foam all glued down, we're going to use whatever florals we want for ours. I'm not going to lie to you, I found these florals, a lot of them at, well, the ones that I'm putting in right now. At Michael's, they were like 80% off, so they were like $1 to me. Now here I'm using some Dollar Tree ones. So, I mean, like if you go to a store and find them like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, and you find them on sale, I say pick them up. Like use those too. If you can find them 80% off, you're paying dollar store prices, and to be honest, theirs are a little higher quality. So like go shop around at all the craft stores and see what deal you can find on them. And these ones here I also bought at Michael's. Now these leaf picks I'm using here, the maple leaf picks, these ones actually came from Dollar Tree. So again, I did use some of the Dollar Tree florals, but I wanted to be transparent and tell you guys, hey, I did use another craft store's florals, but I pretty much paid what I would have paid at the Dollar Tree. Alright guys, now that we put the last of our florals in, we are done. Didn't this turn out so cute? And again, you can add your candle vases into the center of it if you want them. I just decided not to put those in there. So let me know, what you guys think of this one? DIY number 5. This is the last one, and you guys might think I'm crazy for this one. So here was my inspiration. It was this fall canvas for $34.99, and this is what I came up with. No, it's not a canvas. I turned the canvas into a real table topper, like centerpiece. Okay, guys, here's the items I used. I used this Dollar Tree tabletop thing, some of these mason jar, like home decor things. I got these wood letters actually off of Amazon, but like the price of them were like 26 cents per letter. So that was a good deal. And then the florals came from Dollar Tree as well. Now that last item I showed you, the crafting paper, we're not actually going to use that. I changed my mind like 3 times throughout this project. So we're just going to remove all the paper off of all the home decor things. So if you take that top layer of paper off first, you can just wet it down and it'll come right off. I did also take off the metal rings, even though I didn't do it yet. I do end up taking those off. So just strip everything off now. So there's the third time I decided to change my mind, and I was going to go with that like leaf craft paper that looked pretty fall, and that would probably look pretty, but I changed my mind and I didn't use that one. So again, taking off the paper and then just using some water, I just used a cleaner, and spray it down. So now that we have everything all stripped down, I really don't. I see that those still are not. But anyway, I'm painting the base. So you can choose whatever color you want. I went with like this gray. It was a Waverly. I don't remember the name of the color, but it was like a gray base. Okay, and then we're gonna paint the jars white. Depending on what direction you go with this would be what color you paint your jars. I did mine all white because I'm gonna show you what my final decision on these jars were. Okay, we got our jars painted, our base painted. Now we're going to stain our letters. And I went with, what was it, a folk art, like walnut stain. Again, I have so many stains. Like, you do you, and whatever you choose to stain yours is perfect. Alright guys, I stuck with the Dollar Tree theme here, and I am going to Mod Podge on some of Dollar Tree's white fabric. Yes, that's what I'm using. White fabric. I love, I'm so glad I went this way because it like turned out so good. So once you're done Mod Podging it all on, go ahead and add another layer of Mod Podge, especially if you're going to use white fabric, because that fabric is going to get dirty. So then I use the Dollar Tree equivalent E6000 glue again, and then I glue on that metal topper, and then I just glue on the jute cord back on. Yes, I am struggling with words today, and we are almost at the end of this video, so I'm struggling even more because I've been doing this for a minute. So we're just going to clamp on the metal things just to make sure that that E6000 has some time to hold. And to be honest with you, I don't let it dry for 24 hours with the clamps. But here I'm just using three signs because the width of all three of those decor signs is exactly the same width as my base. So it might be a little different for you, but I glued on the three signs and then I put a line across the bottom of my board so I would know exactly where center is for where these jars are going to go. So I also glued on all my lettering using some wood glue and some hot glue combination, and then I'm going to glue on the bases the exact same way with the wood glue, hot glue combination. I mean, I know this isn't real wood. I probably could have went with Tight Bond, like Thick and Quick or something else, but whatever. This Dollar Tree wood glue, if you guys find it, it works really good, and I like it. So once we have our base all glued on, I drill holes in the top of this, but please don't pay attention to how many holes I drilled in this first one because there's way too many. There's probably more than double the amount that I needed, and I didn't use them all. So I'm using these flowers I got from the Dollar Tree. They were like, they had burlap in them. I really liked them. They were like dahlias and daisies, or sunflowers and dahlias. And they were all had the burlap, so I just went with that burlap theme and kind of rotated the colors in between. And again, I didn't use all those holes in the top. probably about half the amount of holes. And if you want less flowers, then use, drill less holes and use less of them. One more note I want to add on is that you can't really see me doing it in this video because you're topside, but every time I glue one of these flowers in, I'm taking those leaves and I'm sliding them all the way down to the top of like the jar or fake mason jar there. I'm sliding those down and I'm hot gluing that leaf down to the top of our faux mason jars. Okay, our florals are in. We are done. I'm telling you, when I seen that canvas, this is where my brain went with it. Let's make this for real. Let's make this a tabletop sign. Let me know down below what you guys thought of my crafts and are you going to remake anything? Comment down below. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.